Hello everyone, welcome back again. Today we will be finishing up the model. This is the fourth episode and we are going to be preparing the model to the final sort of rendering environment, so to say. As you can see here, I have added tubular offset on the glass area to emphasize there is a sort of gap between. Instead of studying in a deep dive of those surfaces because it takes so much time. I realized that there is a small additional decorative part is absent, so I am just creating here with simple box and shaping it accordingly. At this part, I'm kinda making it up, the component. I'm not even looking at the photo shoots of the end result of the product because it's just a simple box, and I'm going to be changing the color of the faces that it's looking at us. I'm just going to change the color of it, assign some sort of gray material to emphasize the front overhang details and the rear overhang details. And yeah, at this phase I am thinking like maybe it is good to add some bevels onto model. In this case I am creating the rocker panel bevel. It's just simple tool. Only thing to consider is always take care your crease areas. If it's creased before, you should do uncrease and then bevel on top of it. Yeah, sort of looking at the model. Sometimes I forgot to pay attention to the symmetry, so that is why I find myself deleting the symmetric side first in the middle row of the faces, and then the symmetric side. Then I duplicate one side to the other, and then I create bridge tool between, and I apply the crease tool that are necessarily to be creased. For the rear overhang, it's pretty much the same methodology that we used back in the last episode for the front overhang. It is just the same thing that we do in the rear overhang as well. Create the tail lights and the additional design elements applied. The same method. So that is why I am not adding that to this episode, because it's just the same. I'm just using some planarize tool. Planarize tool is making your CV arrangement straight according to the your perspective, the perspective that you are looking at to the car. It's making those straight. So I am creating the bottom part. I create this part only to close up the volumetric body. It's actually, I don't care too much at this phase because it means nothing for the model, because you wouldn't even see it when the additional parts is on. Just so that you don't see gap between, I just created some simple connections between. So yeah, the overall shape is finally got somewhere. I am just adding some detailed bevels. As you can see, there's supposed to be crease over there. That is why it's kind of acted in a weird way. Again, I do uncrease first and the bevel second. Again. So this, after adding those bevels, model kind of begin to look like more finished and more detailed. So that is why don't do those tools unless you are satisfied with what you have and you are thinking like wrapping up the model for the rendering phase and so on. Always add the bevels at the end of the modeling part. At this phase I'm thinking like, yeah, this is just enough for the model. Let's add the details and the finished looks for the hard edges. So that is why I am adding the bevels, because I'm thinking that like there is nothing left for me to improve the model. Of course, there are so many things to improve when it comes to the CV structure, when it comes to the highlights. There are lots of things to improve, but put yourself in my shoes that I should keep these videos going. So I kind of let some stuffs go, but you can go deep dive into those problems that you encounter. You kind of, if you are keeping up with me during the process, you kind of probably have better results than I have, because I'm rushing through the time making these videos happening each week. But you don't need to be that punctual. You can be loose with it anyways. So I am adding some parting lines, emphasizing with the tubular offsets. When you look far away from the car, those tubular offset seems like the regular gaps between the components, but actually there isn't rigid gaps on the model at the moment, because it takes time. You gotta divide the components, maybe you gotta change your CV positionings and so on. Especially during the subdivisional modeling process, you cannot be that much of precise, because consider yourself in a design phase. We are not consider this is a design phase, and design may change. Yeah, this is because this could be the real life case. If there is a possibility for design to change, to be changed, you shouldn't apply so many detailed finish look to the model, because it takes time. When design change, you kind of find yourself throwing away that you do previously, so you kind of feel really exhausted and upset about it. So unless design is frozen, it is wise to keep things simple as possible. This is what I do here, because of the timing issues for my site. I duplicate it. I kind of create a surface here replicating the overall body structure of the hood, and I use patch precision tool to obtain those curves, and these curves will be projected onto subdivisional bodies, and then I will be creating tubular offset out of these curve on surfaces that you see at the moment. And then I will be selecting those tubular offsets, duplicating on the y-axis, because this is symmetric anyways. So these tubular offsets kinda emphasizes that look in the original design. It's kinda, I don't know, air intake or something like that, or I mean, yeah, regarding the airflow, that certain element. I don't know what it's doing over there, but visually we add it here. Once you are looking far away from the model, it seems like you have gaps at that area, but actually it's just the tubular offsets. You can do the same things on the roof as well. When you are looking at it on the top view, there are little more details, but I'm not going to be doing those since rushing with the time. But I suggest you to do it with the same technique that I do, or however you like to do, doesn't matter. But I guess you get the point anyway. if you are watching until here from the first episode, you mostly got the point, I assume. I'm revisiting my tubular offsets. I took a look to the images. It's not going all the way down. It's just ending somewhere over there. And there are door shut lines as well we are going to be adding. I'm just going to be a little bit sketchy in here and create some curves according to that image, and then carry that over to my model, assuming I placed it in the right way. I projected onto subdivisional body, and then I am using tubular offsets again. I use tubular offsets generally during most of my early phase processes to emphasize the shot lines, the gaps between the components. It's really easy, and you can always modify them. You can always change the design and recreate them, because these are not taking too much time. Considering the realism it's adding to the model, it's really win-win situation. And I guarantee you, if you put these tubular offsets kind of shot line and gap situation into real rendering softwares such as VRAD or Blender, you will get really pleasing results when it comes to the component divisions. I guess we are coming to an end actually. Yeah. From now on, I will be looking at the overall rendering in Alias. I'm just trying to get closer to the feeling of the images over there, but I couldn't kind of capture the original color and the material, of course. It takes a little bit time than I spent here, but the possibilities of the Alias rendering, I'm just putting up the tabs that I use mostly. You can always change the sun's rotation during the in the environment editor. You can add different environments in the shader library. You can change the assets of the materials in the shader editor. You can see the shader lister, the overall materials that you use in this model. And in the environment editor tab, I am just changing some of the actually playing with them. The render engine of Alias, it's not oftenly used because it's not that mature compared to the rendering softwares, as you can imagine. But I'm trying to push the limits here, actually adding some ground shadows and the reflections, what we can do with the highlights of the DTRL areas and so on. Really trying to push the limits over here. Yeah, do your own experiment here. I really encourage you to explore this part of Alias. It is at certain level, it is kind of giving you the results really pleasing the designer or the manager looking at the data without doing any renders, because doing rendering also takes time. In design studios, rendering could be done by someone else, and you kind of rely on additional person to render the model. Since it's taking time, before jumping on that phase, you can do your trick directly in Alias and create some sort of wow effect. And meanwhile, you can also, it is always better to represent the data rendered in Alias during the design meetings, let's say. It depends, during the critiques that you and your university tutor is, you know, coming together and analyzing the model and so on. It really depends. But yeah, I encourage you to push the limits of the alias at that phase. As you can see on top, I am not doing the details for the roof because they are pretty much the same things, and I got what I want to have. And we are coming to an end of this series. Maybe in my personal time I can push the 3D model forward, because there are some parts, especially that one, that I don't like, because I was kind of rushing to make these videos happening. So I kind of let some details go. But maybe in my free time I update the model and share the last and latest results with you via LinkedIn or Instagram. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and comment your thoughts below. I really wonder if you are keeping up with me until here. If you finish your model too, please send it to me so that we can do quick review sessions with you. Maybe it's a good idea for, you know, additional video concept for the channel. I will be really appreciated for it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.